Oh, that's a satisfying feeling. Pulling the tape off, seeing the nice new straight line of the paint. Yeah, welcome back to the channel, guys. New video here. As I alluded to last week, this week we will be painting the top sides. The scary stuff, very expensive paint and high gloss, and we want it to look good. Enjoi not very scary because it's under the water, and unless you go snorkeling, no one's going to ever see it. If you make a crappy job, no one's going to know. Top side's a bit different. Everyone's staring at it. But anyway, from more than 10 meters away, a crappy job's going to look like a much better job. It's only if you look closely that it looks crappy. Anyway, we'll give it our best shot. Anyway, Jase is going to come and help me again today. Amazing fella. Come and help me with the Enjoi, and now he's going to help today and tomorrow, which is Sunday. It's his days off. Freaking radical. Thanks, Jase. You're a legend. What do you reckon, Jase?
It's got a pretty blue bum.
She looks good, eh?
Yeah, it looks really flash.
Yeah. Thanks for the help too, eh?
Yeah,
Give us the high five.
Please note the painting job. That wasn't me. Please chime in right in about his quality of painting.
Yeah, that's nearly a straight line.
That's a nice. That's a C cut in.
Yeah, it's got to go with the ocean. What about this side? Oh, this side's not real special either. Look at that. Bit of a dribble. Yeah, like if you stand back a bit, it looks fine. And then down here on the rudder, doesn't look very beautiful. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. The thing is, all this is going to be under the water, so you're only going to see it when we snorkel. Look at this weather after all that rain we had. She's just bluebird now. No more clouds. Tiny bit of breeze, but that's good. It's like nice and cool at this time of the day. Move out into the sun. Yeah, Schehallion's looking sweet. Look at this. So I just pulled the tape off this side. Yeah, she's looking good. I like this mixed blue paint. It's not too dark, it's not too light. And yeah, the white keel's looking pretty cool. I don't see too many cruising boats with the different coloured keel and rudder. It's normally a race boat sort of thing. But yeah, it's our heritage of Schehallion. She was a race boat before. I need to go over to the chandlery. I'm going to walk over there now. I need to get some thinners for this paint and some new rolling, don't know what you call them, pads, the buckets, a little tray, rolling tray. To get a couple new ones of them. It's still only about 8 o'clock. It's quite early. I get up early here because I'm always either dreaming or waking up thinking about all the work I'm doing. So I normally get up around 6 and then have some breakfast and then start getting stuff ready. Jase is coming in at 9:30 or 10. I've got to wipe the whole boat down with acetone, probably a couple of times, make sure it's a good clean surface. And by the time he arrives, we'll be ready to go. We're going to do the shady side first. Obviously you don't want to paint in the sun. Paint goes off too quick. This gloss paint, it needs to sort of flow out before it dries, so you don't get a orange peel sort of texture. So I need 2 of these, and we need thinners number 9. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. That's not good. They ordered it last week. He said it would be in this week, and it's Saturday now, so I have to go up and ask. Maybe it's still in a box somewhere. Fuck, that would be shit. Because I really don't know what difference it all makes, but there is obviously a difference between it. Okay. Out into the light. Yeah, so he has got it. It just arrived yesterday evening.
Morning.
Morning, mate. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, lovely. Great day. So it arrived last night in a box and he just didn't unpack it, so he's gonna go and get unpacking it now. He's nice old fella. He's a bit grumpy to some people, but I get on well with him. But first thing in the morning on a Saturday morning is probably not the greatest time to say oi. So yeah, I said I'll be back in an hour, so by then hopefully he'll have unpacked it all, and yeah, I don't need it before then anyway, so all good. Right, Jase is showing up.
Morning.
And we're mixing up the 2-part, what is it, epoxy or?
Yeah, well, 2 parts, so yeah, epoxy.
2-part polyurethane maybe?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's called International Perfection. this one, and it is snow white, which is good. I love the snow. So yeah, it's 2-to-1 ratio, and we've put about 5 or 6% thinners in, so it flows a bit better, and we're definitely winging it, but we're going to give it a crack. Mixing it up now. And then it needs 20 minutes to set to percolate. I think that's the professional term.
Percolate?
Yeah, percolate, yeah. And then, yeah, we get stuck into it and start rolling it on. Big moment. Starts sloshing this on. Mohair rollers. A couple of goats died for this. Probably 2 or 3. Alright, go. I don't even see anything.
It looks fucking good from here, man.
Does it?
Yeah, you actually, like, you can see the peel, but yeah, the gloss is incredible. I can see, it's like a mirror.
Oh yeah? Oh, I can see your reflection in there, mate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Does my butt look big in that reflection? Or?
Your butt, nah, your tummy looks a bit big. Your butt looks alright. Butt looks alright.
That's my airbag, mate.
Fucking hell, it looks good. We could be pro painters if painting was a real cool thing to do, which is not, and I would never want to be a painter.
If anyone needs a boat painted on Vernon's YouTube channel, come see Vernon and me. We'll do it for you.
Yeah, $700 an hour. Any less than that, and I'll be like, screw you. Never.
You pay haul out fees and material.
Oh, look at that. You can really see the, well, what we've done, you know.
The difference?
Well, you know, where the line is now.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. I mean, from straight on, you can't really. Come back here. You come back here. Look at where we've done, sort of.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
That's what I mean. It's mirrored.
Yeah. Right now, we're about 2/3 through the second side, and she's, yeah, blown away my expectations. She's looking better than I thought for us semi-amateur or mostly completely amateur painters.
Learning by doing.
Yeah, this is definitely an exercise in learning by doing. All you guys out there, just give it a crack. Wing it. What do they say? Bullshit till you make it?
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. Nah, dazzle them with brilliance or baffle them with bullshit, either way.
Dazzle with brilliance, baffle with
Yeah,
bullshit.
that's it. But anyway, this paint's pretty good, I must say. It sort of improves as it goes. So you sort of do it and you're like, oh, that's sick. And then you walk away from it, and half an hour later it's even better. Have a look at this. It's quite shiny, eh? And that's just the first coat. Obviously some parts of it you can see up here, you can still see through where I've had to use filler and stuff to, you know, where the anchor hits the front sometimes. But the second coat will get rid of that. And yeah, it looks quite good. You can sort of see here the brush marks in that, but it seems to flow out. I give it another half an hour or so, and those sort of streaky marks sort of tend to disappear. And it's remarkably glossy for just brushing it on. Like, this boat looked terrible before, and now looks pretty good. It'll look better tomorrow though. Alright guys, we have just finished the first coat on the whole boat of the International Perfection high gloss paint, and I must say I'm pretty stoked. She looks pretty spliffing again. Pretty stoked. Once, you know, I've still got the masking tape and everything on there, so it still looks like a project, but I can see it without that, and it's gonna look good. Pretty happy with it. Looks pretty good, pretty stoked. So yeah, we'll do another coat tomorrow, and we sort of feel like we'll even get it better tomorrow because we started off a bit not bad, but we know a couple of things we could have done better, so tomorrow we should be good at that. Actually, I didn't tell you guys what happened with International, so I'll give you a bit of an update on that now. Don't have much battery, so it'll be quick. So basically, it went for a long time. I sent them lots of videos. You know, I showed you guys a video, but I sent them other videos of how it was and talked to them, and I sent them a paint sample. Long story short, it took a long time, and it came back saying they couldn't find anything wrong with the paint. They'd analysed it and blah blah blah, and I just took their word for it because, you know, it wasn't an independent analysation of the paint. It was just them, and they can say whatever they want. I'm not going to pay for that myself to get someone else to analyse it, so I'll take their word for it. In the end, it came down to them saying I didn't put enough paint on. I should have put 16 litres of paint on this little boat. I went on their website and used their calculator, and it said I should put 6 litres on my boat. So I went back and said that, you know, obviously 16 litres is overkill. 6 litres is anyway, it's what it said, but I've only got a tiny little blade keel and blade rudder, so I would even use less than 6 litres. And I only used 4 litres, but on the bulb and on other parts underneath I used a different sort of paint, so it would have been about 6 litres I put on. And I said to them, that wasn't really the problem. The problem was it never went hard. The anti-foul remained soft, and as you can see from when I hauled out, the water blaster just took it off, like dissolved it like soap, you know. It's not a problem of it peeling off, it was just dissolving. It never went hard. So that's not a, you know, anyway. So I understand that they are very unwilling to say our product has a problem with them, because it's going to be every man his dog's going to be coming to them saying, oh, we saw this and our one's not working either, and we've got growth on it, and you know, so they're never going to want to say, okay, our product had a problem. Okay, so I understand that. Whatever, it's all cool. I guess in the end they made a compromise and they sent me a bunch of paint. So they wanted to send me 16 litres of anti-foul to put on. I'm like, well, I'm never going to use 6. I'm not going to carry it around with me for the next 5 years. So I said I'll take 8 litres, which is more than enough to do, and it is. We'll get nearly 3 coats with 8 litres. We've put 2 on already and we've still got quite a bit left. So 8 litres was the right amount, and I said, instead of the other 8 litres of anti-foul, could you send me 8 litres of top coat, glossy, because I want to paint the top? And they were more than happy, because obviously it's another ad for them. And so it worked out as a good compromise, no hard feelings. They're not admitting to anything, they're sort of still blaming me, and I'm just like, yeah, it's rubbish, but I'm not going to fight that anymore. My personal point of view is, it was a, and you know, I am happy to use that anti-foul because I've used it before in Australia, and it's not that International makes bad paint. That's obvious. They sell paint all around the world. I guess some people don't like the results, but probably the vast majority are more than happy with it, and I have been more than happy with it. For me personally, it was a very isolated problem in Indonesia. We all know that some of these countries have problems with, you know, you can buy Volcom clothes in Indonesia for $2, and in real life they'd be $45. So you know that's not a real Volcom thing, and that's sort of where I'm going with this paint. And obviously International are never going to want to admit to that either. So that's fine, we won't admit to it, we'll just move on. And yeah, I'm still not happy about the situation. I would have been more happy if they had have sent a contractor here and did all the sanding, did all the work, because at the end of the day I'm having to pay for an extra haul out and spend a whole week of my life sanding and inhaling all this toxic shit because their product was faulty in some way. But you know, whatever, it's a compromise. They gave me a couple of grand's worth of paint. My boat's going to look good again. I'm confident the paint's going to work this time, and yeah, lesson learned. Next time I go to Indonesia, I'll take my paint with me. So I guess that's the moral of the story. So anyway, that's the backstory of, you know, I didn't really give you an update on that. Why, you know, you guys are probably thinking, whoa, why the hell are you using International paint again? I'm happy with International paint. I'm just not happy with how that batch worked, and I'm not very happy with how they've dealt with the situation. Although looking at it from an international perspective, I can understand why they're going to be like, you know, well, we don't really want to say that this is what happened, but it probably is what happened, but we're not going to admit to that. So anyway, we'll move on, and I'm very happy with how this has gone. The perfection, the high gloss stuff, I can highly recommend, because I can see it right now, and it should go hard and it should last me 10 years. The anti-foul, it looks good and it shouldn't be good. I'll give you an update in 6 months, but I'm very confident that that will work a lot better than the last lot I put on. And if it works like the first lot I put on, I'll be a big double thumbs up. I'll be a big advocate. So yeah, let's see. But yeah, very stoked with today and tomorrow morning. Jase is coming back. Freaking top bloke. Couldn't have done this without him, obviously. Good morning, guys. Back at it again. Sunday morning. It's about 8 o'clock, maybe not quite. And yeah, gonna prepare the hull for the last coat here. Gonna use a Scotch-Brite and just go over the paint we did yesterday real carefully, just to get rid of any hairs or dust or little flies or whatever that might have settled in the paint yesterday, but I don't want to scratch it or anything. It's still, you know, it's still not completely set. Oh yeah, it looks even better this morning, I reckon. Pretty stoked, look. Look at the reflection of this boat here. And that's not polished, that's just after we've painted it. Pretty cool. Big thanks to International for sending me this paint. So apparently it's specially formulated for DIYers like myself. You can't spray this paint, it's only for roll and tip. 4, 5. Right, what do we got of this? 5.
5.
Yeah, there might be 5 in there. Look at your reflection in there, mate. You're fucking supermodel up there with the paintbrush.
Fish and chips, chip in.
Right, go. We've got 2 coats of this perfection on, and that'll be the only 2 coats. But we're going to get this tape off now while the paint's still wet, so it's not grabbing. And yeah, we'll see how this looks. Pretty excited. It looks, wow, I'm more than stoked on it, to be honest. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon it's good. I reckon you've done a good job. You going?
Never go at it. She's ready. We got the prop speed thanks to this lovely couple on this catamaran. They had some left over. It's $300 for a small tin of this prop speed, and yeah, pretty sweet. I just put on a 3rd coat of this blue ablative anti-foul. It's made for aluminium boats, and because this sail drive is aluminium, you can't put this same stuff on. This is copper based or tin or something. Anyway, you can't have dissimilar metals together. So that's why I've gone around here, to keep a bit of separation. Now I'm going to rip this tape off and we'll be done with that section. Look at that. Oh, I love it. At this part of the job, at this part of the hardstand life, I reckon, let's say you're out for a week, which is, you know, good. You spend the first 3 days just making a mess, basically, and you feel like you're getting nowhere, and you're like, oh, I should have probably booked 10 days. And you keep at it, and you keep at it, and hopefully it doesn't rain or whatever. And then on the second to last day, it all just starts coming together, and all those little jobs that you started and worked on, they all just start ticking off, and then in one day it seems like, oh, I've done that, I just have to pull the tape off, and you're finished. And look, like, that's just prop done, anti-foul done, all good. Rudder done, 3 coats. Keel is done. I got 2 coats on the whole thing, and I just put a 3rd coat today on the leading edges around the front, you know, where there's more wear, where there's more water passing by. Anti-foul, I'm gonna put some more on tomorrow. So now I have to go up and take off all of the masking tape around the top, and then that's all done. And yeah, as I said, it's Sunday today. I'm going back in on Tuesday at lunchtime, so I have the whole day tomorrow at half of Tuesday, and it's really just tying up loose ends now. I've got to get them to come and move these stands, and then I have to sand these patches and paint them. So there's 6 of them. That's a relatively quick job. It's just a matter of getting them to come and move them. I could do it myself, but if anything happens, then there's no liability, no insurance on that. And once that's done, and tomorrow I'll have all the painting done, we're literally finished with the outside of the boat. Alright guys, that was the last full day of being on the hardstand, and yeah, it wasn't too stressful. I sort of knew the big stuff was behind me, but still, I got a lot done today. She's looking spick and span. She's looking like when I bought her, pretty much. Like from here, up top is still definitely a work in progress. But yeah, I'm really happy with how she come out. And it's sunset now, everyone's left the yard. It's nice and quiet. The only things that are here with me are bloody midges, sandflies everywhere, but I got lots of spray on. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to do a bit of a beauty shot with the camera now, and show you her, because she probably won't look this good again for another few years. So yeah, it's going to be a nice sunset, some nice lights, so I'll film around a bit and show you guys. Alright, it's splash day.
I'm just going to get another roll of this plastic.
Keeping my new paint friendly.
VIB treatment.
Yeah, very nice. Alright, as you can see, the machine's just arrived. Just got to go and get some more plastic. They put new, yeah, it's a lot of plastic they use, but they put new plastic on here for every boat that goes back in, because the straps themselves are real thick material. Obviously have to be very strong, but they would sort of slough off your nice fresh anti-foul. So I've got a little bit of anti-foul left. I've purposely kept a bit, and you always need to keep a little bit at the end, because wherever the boat's sitting on, in this case here, these two places, they'll lift the boat up now on the straps, and while they're taking all these metal supports and things away, I'll roll on a real thick like a real thick coat on just the bottom of the keel. It doesn't have to be beautiful, you can't see it. Oh, that's the paint around. All right, she's standing. She's up off the ground. Sweet as. All right, let's get this thing in the water. Alright, he's just letting it down for me to get back on the front here, and then he'll go back a bit more and let me right down. Alright, getting on. Cheers, bro. Cheers. See ya. Good job, mate. Alright, back aboard. Shahalion. Nearly in the water. Let's go and check everything out. Okay, she's sitting in the water now on the straps. So first thing, I'm just going to go around and check all the through holes. That's quite easy on this boat, there's hardly any. So here's the first one. No water coming in there. And that's the outlet for the sink and the basin in here. And then we've got a through hole here. No water coming in there. Through hole there. That's the toilet. Then the only other one we've got is one for the engine. That's down in here. No water coming in there. So I think we're golden. The next thing is, I mean, there shouldn't be any water. I haven't changed any of the through holes or done anything. All right, I'm going to start the engine up now, and we'll make sure that the propeller's good. Right, plenty of water coming out the back, that means the cooling system's working. You notice I put a new wind instrument on and it's working, 4.8 knots on a beam reach right now. Everything else is working. I'll have to put the speed wheel back in because I put a blank plug in there to lift out so it doesn't get broken by the straps. Alright, I'm going to try the propeller now. You should see when I put it forward there'll be a thrust out the back and we'll move slightly on the straps. Yep, you can see thrust there. Okay, we're all good. Golden, mate. All good? All right, mate. Thanks, eh? See you next time. All right, so we're backing up now. All right, successful mission to the boatyard. Stoked. All right, well, thanks for watching. I'm very stoked that Schiehallion is looking sweet again, at least on the outside, you know. Anyway, thanks patrons. Really seems to be a lot more, I'll slow down a bit, seems to be a lot more interest since I've got back to Australia. A lot of people commenting, a bunch of new patrons, people waving out on the street. Yeah, it's pretty cool. In Indonesia we didn't meet anybody who watches the show, you know, because we didn't really see any sailors. Well, Greg and Kick, yeah, he was watching the show before I met him, but rather than that, not really. Whereas here I go into the Chandler and someone's like, oh, I just want to say hi, just been watching your videos, really cool, you inspired me, blah blah blah. And it's not blah blah blah, I mean it really earnestly, it's super cool and it's really nice. And if you know, if you see me, don't hesitate to come up and say hi. I'm not a star of any sort, I'm just an average Joe driving my boat around and trying not to look like a fool in front of the camera. So come and say hi, go out for a beer, whatever. Like, I'm stoked, you know, I'm really stoked to meet all you guys, especially if you've been watching for years and know what, you know the trials and tribulations and all that. So yeah, thanks to you all, actually, not just patrons, obviously patrons because you're paid for this all out, but everyone who's watching, commenting, liking, sharing, all that sort of stuff. It's all just an amazing experience that me and Maria are on, and it's awesome to take you guys along with us and show you, you know, some of what we're doing. Anyway, we'll see you next week. I'll be back with yeah, big sponsor video. No, it's not like green powder or anything like that. It's actual useful stuff that I'm going to use on the boat. So see you then. Bye bye.